Listen, and if you've taken the pill, you can go to abortionpillreversal.com. You still have a chance to save your baby. Sir, I see you sitting out here, and listen, I always call out the men because we are called as men to protect our families. And I say this every single time I'm here. And you're shirking your responsibility if you brought a mother here in order to kill that child. Because what we're missing here, listen, there's a truth in the Bible that says we have to suppress the truth in order to justify our sin. You understand? We all know that abortion is murder and that it's wrong. Our conscience convicts us of that. In order to justify our sin, we have to say things like, it's my body, my choice. Well, we know that's not true. We know science and biology backs up the truth of the Bible that life begins at conception. All the DNA makeup is present at conception of a distinct human being developing inside the womb of a mother. And when you come to a place like this to have an abortion, ultimately what's happening is you're murdering that child. That's what we're trying to communicate. And as Christians, listen, you can argue it doesn't matter when you want to argue when life begins. The truth of the matter is when you have an abortion, there will be one less human being in the world. And I hear the argument all the time, well, what about poor kids? What if this child grows up to be poor? What if? But the truth is you don't know, and you don't have the right to take another person's life because they're poor, because you think they might be poor, because they have a defect of some sort. Because, we live in a day and age where you can go to the hospital and they'll tell you, well, your baby most probably will be born with Down syndrome, so you should abort it. And see, this is an abomination to God, and you need to understand that God's law, when you think of God's law, think of the 10 Commandments, right? The 6th commandment says, do not murder. The natural law, the reason we have police officers here is because natural law reflects God's law. It is unlawful to murder another human being. The problem is what we've done with abortion is we dehumanized children in the womb. And make no mistake about it, we did the same thing with slavery. We said, black people are less than human. We should be able to own them as slaves. We did the same thing with the Julie Holocaust. We said, Jewish people are less than human. We should be able to kill them. It's the same thing. We are reliving history, ignorant to the fact that we are murdering. This is our modern day genocide. Adolf Hitler killed 6 million Jews. We've killed 60 million babies since Roe versus Wade. How many of those babies could have been something? All of them could have been something, but who knows who we've killed? Maybe we've killed somebody who would have cured cancer. It's all what if. We can all play the what if game, but ultimately the question boils down to we have a standard by which we make judgments. And if apart from God, your standard is arbitrary and relative. It's based on how you feel, it's based on how the culture around you feels, but you have no objective standard for truth, morality, you have no objective standard for uniformity in nature to even really decry anything. In fact, if you talk to an atheist, they believe that we're all just bags of stardust bobbing through a purposeless universe, that there is no heaven above us, there is no hell beneath us, there is no purpose or meaning to a human's life. But then you see atheists and Christians alike rise up over the murder of George Floyd, and there's a reason for that. According to an atheistic worldview, according to an evolutionary worldview, might makes right. The strong survive. Atheists and people, really a godless worldview has no reason to make those claims. They don't have a standard by which to say, oh, murder is wrong. George Floyd was murdered and it is wrong. What they have to do is borrow from the Christian worldview, you understand? Because it's only through the Christian worldview that we know that we can say without a shadow of a doubt, because again, we have an objective, which means outside of an objective standard of truth that tells us human beings are created in the image of God. Therefore, they have value. They deserve dignity, love, and respect. And you would agree with that because you also want to receive dignity, value, respect, and love. And when you feel somebody's pressing against that, just like now, you are arguing with the woman up here. You see, because you believe that. See, you might claim God doesn't exist, but you live contrary to what you believe. And this is the problem we've fallen into because we aren't thinking. Like you said earlier ago, Miss, respectfully, you said you just haven't thought about it. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about it. And listen, men, if you're here because you've dropped someone off, you need to bring them out and think about it more. Because abortion is murder. When do you think life begins then? You are also in the womb of your mother. You were also conceived. Miss, pillreversal.com, you still have a chance to save your child. Sir, Today is the day for you to be a hero, okay? A hero. Men are called to protect and serve their families and children, not to bring them here and shirk their responsibilities by paying someone to kill their child. And sir, also in the red, if that's you, listen, you look like a very young man. Please, if you have brought a mother here to kill your child, please don't kill, please, bring her out. Hey, Miss, listen, I appreciate you taking time to talk to us, and I understand that things do get heated because we're talking about murder, and really there is no way to overreact when it comes to murder, aside from harming the other person. So, I mean, the question would be, listen, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in God? Do you